Hey, quick story here. I'm in Encinitas, California at the Self-Realization Fellowship Meditation Gardens, just north of San Diego. Little story, back in 1998, I moved down to San Diego with my sister. She had just graduated from high school. We had an invitation to live with our auntie who had moved across the nation to home in San Diego, and gave us a place to stay as long as we were getting our education in college. But my sister and I went out for a drive on Highway 101 on the coast, and beautiful sunny day like it is today. And all of a sudden we get to this area here with this sort of mosque-like building, and she starts freaking out. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm driving our red Chevy Blazer S10 car, and I pull over off the side of the road, and I look at her and I'm like, what's wrong? What's going on? And she says, oh my God, that's where Yogananda lives. And I'm like, yoga who? What are you talking about? And yeah, I was like, is that guy that's on that book, that orange cover? I'd seen it on people's shelves at different times of my life, and she's like, yes, that's him, that's Yogananda. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. So this is the location of where he wrote the book, Autobiography of a Yogi. And so that got me intrigued. And then later on that night, I went to the gym to work. I was a personal trainer back then, and I meet this guy who works the late night shift at 24-Hour Fitness. And he had these like objects on the desk, these like sort of pillow with a hand rest, arm rest thing. And I'm like, what is that? And he's like, oh, you ever hear of a guy named Yogananda? And I'm like, who is this Yogananda guy? Like 2 times in one day I hear about Yogananda, and he's like, oh man, he's like, God changed my life. I read his book, Autobiography of a Yogi. And at that point I was convinced that this is time for me to go to the bookstore at Barnes & Noble the next day and buy that book. So, since then I'm reading this book. It's hard not to sort of question these stories. Are they really true? And I had since put it to the test, because it's kind of spiritual. It's definitely different because he comes from India with this lineage of gurus, and he shares a story about bringing yoga to the West and spirituality and sort of integrating, the mind, body, and spirit. And these stories are almost sort of like too fantastical. It's something that I questioned, but I was intrigued. So what I did was I actually started to experiment in my own life to see, are these true? Are these stories really true? Didn't take it at face value, I'm not dogmatic in that sense. I'm always questioning everything, including myself, even with the help of people who kind of show me my blind spots. But crazy story too is Steve Jobs at his funeral had